Hey everybody, this is Jim from Slipknot. We're going to go through some of my gear today. Welcome to my house. This is the Iowa Flat. A little bit spread out, but we'll try to get to most of it. So here's the signature model. It's basically mahogany body, EMG 81, EMG 60 in the neck, 3-way toggle, 1 volume. Ebony board, 12-degree fretboard radius, jumbo frets, lockdown tuners. It's got a little contour here for the neck, so you can reach them high frets a little better. And that's my guy. It's got a little bit of road rash on it too. They get used. Here's a quick peek at some of the pedals that I have. Most of all of these were used on the record we just did. And if they're not in this box, they're going to be in my racks, which we'll get to later. So now we're out of the messy house and we're in the messy warehouse. Basically, these are my live racks. Similar to what I used, exactly what I used in Stone Sour. A and B rack. Everything's going to be orange. The Diesel and the Bogner are there because sometimes in the studio you need a variety of different cabinets and things. So let's check out the rack. This is the A rack, and it's still going through kind of a morphing process. Probably going to switch out the Furman, but we'll be using the Whirlwind switcher. Got the Audio-Technica wireless. Using the Custom Shop Crybaby wah. It's just kind of a rack mount wah with a remote controller for it. And then I've got a GCX switching system. It's kind of like a MIDI switcher for all my analog pedals that I use. These are some of the ones that I used in the studio, so they're just kind of tentatively in here for now until we do pre-production for the live stuff to figure out exactly what I'll be using. Most likely it'll probably just be a chorus pedal or something, or a phaser. I got the orange rocker verbs running. Live, usually one of the heads will be running 2 of the speaker cabinets, and then one of the other heads will run an ISO cab. ISO cab goes to the monitoring system and out to front of house. A B rack is essentially the same thing as the A rack. Just, if we're playing in Australia, I can be using this while this one's on its way to Europe or wherever we might be going. Same setup, GCX switching system, remote controllers for the wah pedals. Same exact setup, times 2. Why have one when you can have 2?
Hey, how's it going? It's Mick from Slipknot. I'm going to talk about a few of my different guitars here today, starting with the newest Ibanez that they built for me. It's an ash body, which differs from my first guitar in that my first guitar was actually made out of plywood that had a veneer on it. I have a rosewood fingerboard, which differs from most of my my custom Ibanez, and it differs from my production MTM1s. It gives it a little more open, sort of airy kind of sound. It lacks the density that Ebony has. The neck they made for me is from 2 different pieces of quarter sawn Eastern hardwood maple, and then with a Babinga stripe running down the middle. Babinga is extremely dense. The bridge is a string-through fixed bridge. Ibanez called the tight end. It's the first one I've ever had like this in any of the guitars I've had built for me. Some of the advantages of a bridge like this is that you don't really remove any wood whatsoever from the body, and having the strings terminate, they're connected to the body, just allows maximum energy transfer. So you're not losing anything in terms of string resonation, things like that. You're putting all the energy of the string ends up vibrating throughout the body, which really does enhance the sound. And the pickups I chose for this, they're Seymour Duncans. They're passive. And the bridge is just a JB, which has been around for a long time, but sounds perfect with this combination of not only wood but tuning. It's a 9 to 42 tuned to E. In the neck is a classic stack, which is a stacked humbucker in a single coil space. It sounds very, very single coil authentic. A lot of people hearing it would probably never know that it was humbucking, but in fact, when you play it with high gain, you don't have any of those problems with the 60 cycle hum that you will absolutely have with a traditional single coil. So this is my Ovation model. In working with them, I didn't want like your normal acoustic. There's already a million of those out there. I've always played acoustic guitar from an electric approach. So one thing I talked to Ovation about was getting a guitar that someone from an electric point of view or from a more lead point of view would be more comfortable playing and have the ability to have access to all of your frets without having to give up all that sound that most cutaway acoustic guitars make you give up. Another thing that I addressed with Ovation was electric players, myself in particular, tend to like a wider, flatter fingerboard and a thinner neck, which wasn't always available on acoustics, typically not available on acoustics. So we did a couple different neck profiles and came to something that I liked a lot. So it's not just an acoustic with my paint job on it. It's got jumbo frets, a wider, flatter neck like I use with my Ibanez, and it's much more playable. But like I said, without sacrificing the bottom end that you typically have to sacrifice with a cutaway acoustic.